The Light 95.9. Welcome to another edition of your Christian News Connection. And you know, I've always said it's such a blessing when you talk with a student, a child, not a child, but a young woman who has a desire to do something and be an author, and yet still glorifies God in everything that she says and do. And we have to tell everybody about that. And today joining us is Reagan Nevels, 12 years old. A seventh grader at Austintown Middle School joins us today here on your Christian News Connection. Reagan, you're an amazing young lady. You know that? You really are. And thanks for joining. Tell us about your book, how this all started. Tell us about the book first, how this all happened.
Well, the name of the book is called Vision Collision, and it started when I wanted to do something that inspired me but also inspired other people and that could help them finish things that they've always wanted to accomplish. So the 4 steps in the book, they're called Think, Write, Believe, and Achieve, and they're the 4 main steps to accomplishing whatever you wanted to accomplish. And I saw that in church one time. We have an AIM conference in, I think this year it's in Indiana, and we go there every year in the month of July, and there was a contest that my aunt had, or Dr. Luana Grant, she had put up a contest, and it was to write a summary of what your book wanted to be about. And I wrote a summary because I thought that this was my opportunity to inspire the world and to also inspire me. And I put in my summary, and it turns out that I won. So I started to write my book, and people would call me and they say, I'm inspired by your book, and I'm inspired to finish what I wanted to accomplish, and that also inspired me to start working on another one.
Reagan, what you're doing is you're planting a seed into young people. That's the message I'm getting out of this. This is just terrific. So when you were putting this book together, as an author, would you just carry a little, pad with you and say, I write that down? Or talk about the first phase of the book.
Well, I'm like my dad. He writes songs, and I like to write songs sometimes, and we keep it in our mind, but I know sometimes I would forget, so I would sometimes carry around a notebook and jot down some things, and my mom would help me practice questions over dinner sometimes, and she would help me write and edit the book. And the first phase was when Dr. Luana Grant had come over the phone with me, and she would help me write down my ideas, and I would go into the library, and I would write down some ideas, and she would help me tweak and twerk them and things like that. And that was the first phase.
Well, that's really, that is great. So where can we get the book, and what do they have to do?
Well, you could get it on lulu.com, or if you want it personalized and signed by me, it'll come to me first. If you want to get it on leadershipdevelopme.com, I'd sign it, and then I could send it right back out to you, and it should be there within a couple days.
That's terrific. I was reading some things, and you were at the church. You're a Sunday school teacher. Well, you started out. It was something that, talk about that. Somebody said, here, would you like to teach? And you have a gift.
Well, what happened was I had always had a thing for, teaching kids or stuff like that, even though I was one myself. And we would have Sunday school at church, and we would always have different teachers, and some Sundays we wouldn't have Sunday school, so I was like, what's going on? And I found out what was going on, and we didn't have a Sunday school teacher because no one was ever there on time, or maybe they couldn't come to church that day. So I said, what's going on? And she said that we don't have a Sunday school teacher right now. And I talked to my mom about it, and she said, I said, maybe I could be the Sunday school teacher because I was at least 2 years older than the kids, and I was always thinking of fun new ways to do things, either in school or maybe at church, whoever the teacher taught, because the kids wouldn't be learning anything. They would be bored. They would be talking in class. So when I saw that there was an open slot, I could become the Sunday school teacher, and now the kids are learning. They're having fun playing the games, and they really appreciate when I bring snacks in. They don't get snack, of course, when they don't listen, but they appreciate the fun and games that are put towards it.
Our guest today is Reagan Nevels. She's 12 years old, seventh grader at Austintown Middle School. The name of the book is Vision Collision. How did you come up with the name? Did someone help you with that name, or how did you arrive to that name?
Well, my mom helped me with the name. We were spending about a week on the name, and we came up with different creative names, but I forget what some of them are. But she helped me come up with the name Vision Collision, and it just sounded catchy, and everybody else liked it, so we just went along with what it was.
That's terrific. So you talked about achieve, write, believe, and achieve. Let's talk about the word believe. Where does that come in?
Well, believe, I have faith. I have faith in God, and I believe that He has helped me through this long journey because I know none of the knowledge had came from my original mind. I know that He put all of the ideas in my mind, and I'm very thankful for that. But I encourage people to believe whatever they believe. They just need to have a little belief in themselves to finish accomplishing what they want to accomplish, because a part of the 4-step process, believe, is one of the biggest steps, because you can have your mom or dad or your siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, then there's no way to accomplish what your goal is.
What about the students at AMS right now? I mean, they know you're an author, you wrote a book. What do they say to you?
Well, they say it's just now coming out. People figured out when the newspaper came out. My teacher had it, and she hung it up on the billboard. And some of them, I feel, kind of look up to me, and they ask me for help whenever we're in math class or whenever we're in English class. And they come to me and they ask me, could you help me with this? Or you should be able to do this because you wrote your own book or something like that. So I feel that some people in the school are slowly being inspired by what I have to say and are working.
Please excuse the interruption. There are no girls groups today. Miss Chambers is not.
Go.
Well, my friends and some kids that are in my English class and math class, they ask me for help sometimes with their work, or they say that I should be able to do some of these things because I wrote my own book. And I was like, well, it's really not that easy. You have to go through the 4-step process, which is to think, write, believe, and achieve. And I feel that some of them are inspired through some of the words that I had to say. And I feel really great about that.
Well, I know that I was also reading about that you now only not enjoying seeing your book working and completed. You're taking speaking engagements.
Well, yes, my first speaking engagement was at Williamson Elementary School, and I spoke to a group of 5th or 6th graders, and I went there and I spoke for about 20 minutes, and then I did a book signing, and then after we had a little talking time and we took pictures, and I know some of the kids right there already know what they want to be when they grow up. One of them wanted to write a book, one of them wanted to be a gymnast, and I think it really gave them a boost of their confidence and encouraged them.
Well, when you attended this conference, there were over 30,000 young people who attended. They wanted to be effective leaders for the ministry of God. And so this is where you got the idea. Was it your aunt who said that gave you inspiration?
Well, actually, Dr. Luana Grant, she wrote a book herself, and she's my mom's friend. And she wrote a book, so of course I knew about it. And that's when I said that I wanted to do something, because right now I was stuck. I was trying to play tennis, dance, photography. I was trying to sew. So I was like, I need to do a couple things at a time, or I need to channel my energy towards one thing at a time or something like that. So I found the opportunity when she said that she would write a book. I know I would help her. I would walk around with her in the AIM conference where the 30,000 people were. I would walk around with her. I would help her sell books and things like that. And then she said the next year that there was a contest that if you would write a summary about what you wanted your book to be about, then you could enter it on a yellow slip, and it would be entered, and she would look over them, and she would pick one. Actually, there was another young lady that wrote a summary, and she won too, so both of us won, and I was surprised because my mom would say little about it. She would say that you are one of the top 10 or you are one of the top 5. And, I
That's
won at
great.
the AIM conference, so.
That's wonderful. That really is. So here you are. The book is complete, Vision Collision. So what do you, Reagan, what do you want people to take away when they read this book? What do you want them to say? Not you're doing it. you're doing because you have a passion to do this, and God has given you a gift. What do you want people to take away when they read this book?
I want them to say that I am glad that someone boosted my confidence. I am glad that someone gave me a little inspiration so that I can finish what I wanted to accomplish, because if I never accomplished it, what would I become when I'm older? What would I become? What would people think of me? So I want them to walk away with, of course, the 4-step process, which is to think right, believe, and achieve. And I also want them to say that I'm inspired to finish what I've always wanted to finish but never had the chance to. And now that this book has come along, I have the chance to channel my energy towards what I wanted to do and to accomplish goals and things that I thought I could accomplish when I was a young child.
Accomplish and encourage. That's another key word, encouraging other students and other people who come into your life. What a blessing you are. It really is. So what's coming up next? Anything in the horizon, anything working on? Are you thinking about another book?
Well, right now, I am just going to speaking engagements, and I am promoting my book, and I'm speaking to the youth, whether they're older than me or younger than me. I'm signing books right now, which you can get them on lulu.com and leadershipdevelopme.com if you want it personalized. And I'm maybe thinking about writing another book, but right now I'm just promoting mine.
You're just enjoying life and saying, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and you're here to help people. You have such a gift. You really have a passion to helping other people. I just think that's terrific. And, how can we, let's ask you this, how can we as a body pray for you, your family, and what God has in store for you?
Well, you can reach out to me, and we can have a prayer or something if you want on visioncollision12@gmail.com, which is my email, and you can reach out to me if you have any questions, and you could just pray for me whenever you're in church or anything like that, because this is really a tough journey, but I feel that God is helping me through it.
Well, I can't say enough that your book, Vision Collision, and what you do and what you're about to do, because I know God's got a huge plan for you, and the message is a strong message in your book. How are things going at home?
Things are going great right now. You know, it's just like whenever I get in trouble, of course, I'll get my phone taken away or something like that, but I watch my siblings. We have fun times. I'll play with my brother, things like that. Things are just getting I feel so much easier now that I've written the book, and now that I know where to channel my energy towards. I started to read my own book and started to get advice for myself, and but at home things are going great.
Terrific, and things are going well for you at school, and that's just it's just amazing. So again, if they want to find out more about Reagan Nevels, what do they have to do? Give us a website and how they can get a hold of the book.
Well, there are actually 2 ways. You could get it on lulu.com. If you search my name up, Reagan Nevels, Vision Collision, you'll find it on lulu.com. It says that the book is $12.99. Or if you want it personalized and for it to come to me and signed by me, you could purchase it on leadershipdevelopme.com, and it will come to me first, and then we'll send it right back out to you.
And if someone wants you to come and speak to the group, the youth group or whatever, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can get in touch with me by my email, visioncollision12@gmail.com, and that email comes straight to me, and I will be able to answer you within 1 to 2 days, and I will get back to you soon enough.
All right. She is Reagan Nevels, 12 years old, 7th grader, Austintown Middle School. The book is called Vision Collision, and I think it's a must for everyone to read. Every young student should read this, and yeah, it's just great. Reagan, thank you for what you're doing, what you're about to do. God is not through with you yet. He's going to use you in a mighty, mighty way. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
7th grader from Austintown Middle School, Reagan Nevels. The name of her book is Vision Collision. What a blessing she was to be on Christian News Connection today. It's great. When these kids, these young men and women, what a blessing they are. What a blessing they'll be to other people. Pray for your child. Pray for the schools that they attend. And pray for the teachers also. When these young men and women step out like that, it needs to be told. Thank you for joining us for another edition of your Christian News Connection.